So I'm not too
Yay!
sure when we went live. So if you heard any of kind of like the back conversation, I apologize. But Facebook Live family, thank you so much for tuning in. You know that I really appreciate you taking an hour out and spending it with me and my incredible guests each time. Just going to be bringing in Instagram Live. So just give us a moment. Hello. Hi, Instagram family. Thank you so much for tuning in again. I'm super happy and excited to be sharing this wonderful 60 minutes with you. We are just pulling in my guest. There's no surprise. You guys all know who she is. Her name is Kavita Suri. But before she speaks, as I always do, I like to do a little introduction for those of you guys who aren't familiar with who my guest is. So this week, as you guys know, I'm doing my final social series special called Spirituality and Lifestyle. And it's really funny because some of you guys were DMing me and saying, ha, Raj, like this is going to be your last week. You know, it's really funny because I've had a number of people reach out to me for other ideas for themes. So I may be back is all I have to say.
You probably will be, yeah.
But, you know, for now, this is kind of, you know, like the week that I'm, you know, dedicating to spirituality and lifestyle. And here, what I've done is I've chosen experts who can shed light on different aspects of spirituality and how they specifically incorporate it during this current reality, as well as generally in their lifestyles when, you know, we're not facing a crisis situation like this. As I mentioned on Monday, when I chatted with celebrated astrologer Nadia Shah, who both me and the fabulous Kavita here are major fans of, I stated at that time that I'm a huge advocate for incorporating multiple doctrines to create a life that is uniquely in service to a purpose-driven existence, no matter what we're going through as individuals or as a collective. This week's series, as you guys know, and for those of you who are tuning in for the first time because you are fans of Kavita, thank you so much for being here. This is a 3-part special this week, which started on Monday and is happening today, of course, and we'll be ending it at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Friday with my final guest. Those of you guys who, you know, again, are tuning in for the first time, I've done like about 2.5 weeks worth of this social series special, which has kind of been in and around different strategies, resources, tips, and insights around this entire kind of COVID pandemic and how it's affected our lives in various different capacities. So if you haven't had the opportunity to check that out, or if you would like to check out the other conversations that I've had with people, just go to my Facebook business page called Raj Gurn, and you'll see all of them up there. Just, you know, feel free to share it with friends, with family, with anyone out there you feel that, you know, could really do with that bit of an uplift. Today's guest, yay, is an expert in beauty, in self-care, and in holistic living. Her name is Kavita Suri, as I already mentioned off the top, and she is a woman that I've learned a lot from over the many years that we have known each other. I believe it's been about 20 years. I knew her when she was 19, guys, when she was 19. Kavita is a well-known beauty entrepreneur and founder of a very popular Toronto-based spa called Infuse Med Spa. She is also a body-positive, curvy girl influencer. She is an advocate for spiritual and holistic living and uses her vast knowledge in this space, both at home and with her clients at work. And it's really this that we're going to be talking about today, how to incorporate, you know, different aspects of spirituality into our personal, you know, self-care. And beauty is a huge aspect of that, depending on the kind of definition that you know, kind of put around the word beauty. So welcome, my dear Kavita, who I love so much. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me. And I mean, I wish we were talking about this last night. We can't wait to get together properly and just be in each other's presence. But this does it, and this is what we have to do for now. And I'm really happy to be here.
Me too. And can I tell you something? You're the only guest I actually curled my ends for. I will have you know.
Well, beautiful, beautiful. I
Oh,
love that
my
hair
Bella.
color on you, by the way. It's my favorite.
Thank you, baby doll. So let's get right into it.
Sure.
My first question for you is to ask you to share your journey, as I do with everyone.
Yeah.
And I want you to kind of encapsulate it because it's very vast.
Mm-hmm.
From the time that you were a makeup artist and work your way through to when you became a beauty and self-care entrepreneur. So basically, really what that means is, at one time you were a makeup artist on the go, right? And you would collaborate and work with a number of companies. And then somewhere along that journey, and somewhere along that parallel journey, there was also this kind of, spiritual awakening or spiritual manifestation of self, which kind of brought you to this idea that your service to humanity and to self needed to be in the beauty, self-care, holistic living space. And of course, you opened your own med spa called Infuse here in Yorkville, Toronto. So talk to me about how, A came to be.
It all came together. Yes. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to start off with my spiritual journey just because that's the first thing that actually started for me. And that started for me mainly, I would say, at the age of 16. And what I mean by that, it was really the practice of prayer and also the practice of self-healing. So self-healing could be simple things like reading books. It could be simple things like, writing affirmations and doing vision boards. So that's where I kind of sort of started with the self-healing, and it moved.
But why at 16? Why at 16, Kavita? Was there something that happened in your life, or did you just feel that you needed this for your own kind of sense of peace?
I was drawn to it. So you know how like some people are drawn to like sports, or some people are drawn to graphic designing. I was always drawn to arts and spirituality. And so to encompass that, what happened was when I was around 19, that's when a lot of things started evolving when it came to more of the spiritual side of practice, which is a practice called Reiki.
Right.
And Reiki is something that is originated from Japan. A doctor created it through a lot of clinical studies and a lot of healing through your hands. So it helps heal like stress, chakra balancing and energy. So I kind of took that on and then moved into makeup. Now, professionally, makeup was something that I was doing as a business. Right. Reiki is something you can do as a business, but it wasn't something I was drawn to do as a business. It was more to incorporate and intertwine with my own self-healing that I had to go through, and then my artwork, which is makeup. Right. So that's where it kind of really started for me in terms of getting into the beauty and this wellness spirit portion of the industry.
So how did you go from a makeup artist professionally to deciding that you wanted to kind of expand your wealth of knowledge and, collaborate with people and make it more of a 360-degree beauty service rather than just, focusing on makeup, which actually is the reason why you decided to open up your own spa?
I feel that beauty is so diverse. So it's not just one specific category. It's not just one specific, I am a specific type of physician. It's beauty to me is everything when the scope comes to wellness, it comes to cosmetics, it comes to skincare, and it comes to treatments as well. So with that being said, while I was doing when I launched my makeup artistry business when I was 19 in 1999, it was just literally
when we serendipitously met.
Yeah, and that's when a lot of the South Asian movement started for us, right? Because no one else was really doing it. No one was taking the footsteps or the leadership in the community to say, hey, you know what? No, I'm not going to be your typical lawyer or accountant or doctor or nurse. I'm going to be an artist. I'm going to do something different for the community. So makeup artistry was where it sat with me. And that's where it all started with me, is I started off as just doing makeup. And this is during the time I was in college for business marketing. And then from makeup, it went into hair styling. So not like hair cutting, but like styling, like updos and like curls and whatever. So I encompassed it within my clientele, which was brides. And
Right.
it's interesting because as I was doing, working on my clientele, after I would finish with them, they would tell me how wonderful and how beautiful they feel after I've done working on them. And that to me had a huge part with my own personal energy that I work on every morning that I'm providing to my client every day. So they're feeling the vibration and they're feeling, the difference in the way they feel through my artistry. So that's where it started for me when it came to makeup. And then it moved into training. So that's training where I started teaching women to become makeup artists and hairstylists, and I got accredited with a government recognized academy where I was able to certify over, I would say, about hundreds of women in Toronto. So it was really great for me to do that service after you master your craft after so long. You want to give back. You don't want to just keep it within.
Right.
However, within that transition, I knew that there was something more for me. I knew, even going back to the age of 16, I knew I was going to have my own business that helped other women. I knew I was going to have my own spa. So it was only a matter of time. And I feel a matter of learning within the craft, whether if it's knowledge of what's happening in the industry with skincare, whether it's knowledge of what we need to do now. So that's how it started for me.
Wow. And there's just so many directions that I want to go in. So let me hone it into, focusing in on how you utilize, because you talked about how spirituality came to you first. Mm-hmm. And then kind of, the professional self-care industries like makeup and hair, the external, and then the internal beauty of who we are. So I wanted to ask you, at what point did you realize that you were in fact providing a service that was greater than, your normal beauty aesthetics? At what point did you realize that, there's something deeper happening here between me and my clients? I'm offering them an opportunity to kind of be wrapped in this beautiful energy that I create when I provide my services.
It would be at the point when my clients started asking for more from me.
Right.
So it wasn't just makeup they wanted from me. They wanted to know about healing. They wanted to know about skin. They wanted to know about fitness. So it's for me, it was always, and still to this day, I listen to my client. I'm listening to what they're asking and what I can give in the ask. So
a true entrepreneur. A true entrepreneur.
Thank you. And that's how I was able to host and to evolve my, I'm going to say, empire now.
Right? Absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about your personal practice, Kavita. I mean, I've been getting DM'd by people that they see that you put this out there and, they want to kind of understand how they could potentially tap into their own selves to figure out what their mantra needs to be on a daily basis. And you are huge on daily mantras. You're very strict with what you do in the morning, what you do at night. So talk to us a little bit about that.
So I'm gonna just mention this only because I feel when it comes to being spiritual, at first, back in the day, talking about the 1990s, when I started talking about spirituality and I could feel energy and I'm into numerology and astrology, there were some people that actually were looking at me like I was weird. Mm-hmm. Like they're, that I'm not normal. I have like a mental illness or whatever it is. Right.
Right.
But I kept
you are not normal, which is the reason why I absolutely love you. And, and it's the abnormal people in this world that actually, shift the energies of the universe. It's those people that actually help to serve and to, what's the word I'm looking for? Help to heal humanity.
Heal, or even use as a catalyst to get there, you know? And so I think
even though these people felt that, oh my God, she's a bit on the other side.
They're like, she's weird, you know.
How did you tackle that? And because you stayed in your lane. Yeah.
Yeah. I just didn't give a flying fuck, like you would say.
That's my famous saying.
I was like, listen, if you don't like what I'm saying, I mean, I'm not like, you know, saying anything bad about you. I'm just speaking my truth and what my, you know, spirit wants to speak about. So if you don't feel comfortable about it and you want to judge me, then that's your thing. I'm not gonna,
you're not owning it. You're not gonna own it.
I'm not gonna force it on you, you know. So I'm really happy that I stuck to that I kind of stuck to it.
You have a fan here. Eat, pray, love today. Beautiful inside and out, Kavita. Haven't met you, but love your positivity.
Well, we're going to have to meet one day.
Absolutely. So Kavita, let's.
Yes, I'm going to go back to, So I'm going to go back to how do you get there spiritually, comfortably, right? So first of all, you have to have an attitude that you don't care what anyone else thinks, that this is your own journey, and that whatever way you want to find your spirituality, whether it's through yoga, whether it's through meditation groups, now it's a thing. Now it's like you can't, you know, be called weird because you're part of a, you know, a Reiki meditation or, you know, a ceremony of some sort. No one's going to call you weird anymore because we've come out a little bit more. Our light workers, we've come out. We're here, you know? So,
and it's going to be more so, isn't it? Now that we've hit the age of Aquarius, for those of you guys who are into spirituality,
100%. You know exactly what that means. It's going to be the thing, right? I feel that the pause, which Nadia was talking about, and I really like that she used that word, is called the great pause.
Yes.
This is the great pause. And it's the great pause for us to either walk through that door. And if you don't, then I don't know, you know, it's not going to, you know, you're going to still have to do some work.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your morning mantra. What do? You get up in the morning?
So it's more of a ritual.
Okay. Love it.
So I get up in the morning, you know, 6:30 ideally, and I do yoga right away. So I don't have any water right away. I do yoga. I do about 15 minutes of deep stretches that help my energy flow. So blood flow, energy flow, you know, awaken, stretch out my muscles and stuff. And then I go into water intake, which is really important because as we're sleeping, we're actually losing water. So sometimes you wake up, you may feel headachy or lethargic. It just means we need to just replenish with some water. Yeah. And usually I have water with lemon or water with electrolytes. Yeah, no,
you know, I have to laugh. You know, I have to laugh. So this is an inside joke between me and Kavita, guys. And there it is. So my son absolutely adores Kavita, but he doesn't call her Kavita, guys. I have to share this inside story of ours. He references and calls her lemon water. This is literally her name.
Yes. And where did it come from? Because you stirred and your son's like, why are you drinking? And you're like, you know, because
Kavita. Yeah, Kavita says that I have to drink lemon water to purify and remove the toxins.
It's so good for you. 100. Do you notice a difference when you would drink it? How much more alive you feel over grabbing a cup of coffee right away?
I find that it clears out. It helps me go to the washroom better.
Yes. Yeah.
So you do the lemon water and then?
Okay. And then I work out 3 days a week. I'm not trying to do a 7-day-a-week workout. And then I take my shower.
What is that? What is a workout? What's typically a workout in your world?
It's a HIIT training. So HIIT training is something I do for 25 minutes to 30 minutes. I don't have time to spend 2 hours in a gym.
Right.
And HIIT training mixes high cardio and lots of reps on weights.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's not
How long do you do it for? How long do you do this for?
5 minutes to 30 minutes.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. Because I mean, and you know what, even with my fitness journey, Raj, I went through that, like where I had like huge biceps or like, you know, like big quads.
Yeah.
And fine. At that time, I thought it was the thing, but I like my body feminine and curvy,
right,
but toned. So I found my happy place with fitness. And that's another thing with fitness, you have to find your happy place, right?
And that's a part of your you know, journey as well, to help to mentor women who feel that, you know, they're caught up in kind of like that size game. You know, you are not into that at all. You advocate that you need to be in a place where you feel healthy physically, emotionally, spiritually. Absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about that. We've kind of come there. You are an advocate for curvy girls. What does that actually mean?
So what that means is body positivity. It means that being comfortable with the fact that you are not a size 0, that you are a 10 plus in your size of jeans, perhaps, and that you're okay with that. You feel beautiful in that space in your body. It's okay. So that's where kind of, you know, again, back in the day, I used to model, and I took it back and I focused more on the beauty service. And it was just as of recent, I would say about a year and a half ago, a lot of my friends they pushed me to get out there again and do curvy modeling, because they said, your body is what people desire. There's a certain amount of people, or, you know, a group of people that would desire to have your body shape and tone. And you know what? I did it. I was like, you know what? Let me give it a try. My girlfriends owned the store on Queen. I did a little bit of modeling on them, and it blew up.
Yes, absolutely.
Who knew?
Yes, who knew? But you know, there's a time for everything, right, Kavita?
Yeah, I mean, exactly.
Look how serendipitously you kind of came into what you felt was your physical beauty. And, you know, the world out there was calling for that. It's calling for examples of people that are comfortable enough to step out and say that this is who I am. Right. And this is what I'm proud to be, you know, and you really do stand for that.
Absolutely. And I think that, you know, when I was modeling back in the day, I was getting a lot of that. You need to lose weight. Your bum's too big. Your hips are, my body's been like that since I was in high school. So nothing's really changed. Obviously I've put on a little bit more weight, which is I'm fine with. Yeah. But it kind of deflated me to continue modeling. So I took that break and I just focused on my makeup artistry. And it seems as though, you know, the culture's changed, and the culture is accepting full, divine, feminine women.
Absolutely.
Curvy.
What are some of the, I know that you are an ambassador, you hold an ambassadorship as well with an online community. You're called to, you know, model quite a bit now. I mean, obviously not right now while we're on, you know, lockdown, but, you know, a lot of organizations have called you in to kind of represent them. Do you want to talk a little bit about that at all?
So right now I'm part of a board of directors with Fashion Group International, and it's actually a non-for-profit community that focuses on fashion, obviously. And it originated from New York, and they brought together designers and textile fashionists and all of the communities to be able to come together and shake hands in a very personable way, instead of, for example, magazines, right? Like you know, it's coming into the community. And now they have had the chapter here in Toronto for 7 years, and I'm running the first chapter. It's disheartening because we had a lot of events planned since the get-go, and it looks like we've taken a back seat on that, and we're trying to integrate more of an online presence. So follow Fashion Group International. We are doing a little bit more of a live presence with have coffee with one of our members. So my goal with that was, I was the first ever actually beauty professional to be part of the board and not being a fashion professional. So I'm really excited about that. I you know, I'm still kind of thinking about what I want to bring forth with the online presence. I haven't, you know, put my proposal through because I want to think about it. I don't want to rush through it because I just want to do a good job.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and you always do a good job. And what I love about you that I want to share with everyone is that you're never on a race game. Like you don't, you never feel
Yeah.
FOMO. I noticed this about you, never feel FOMO. And when you see your girlfriends really excelling, and I'm not just saying this is the truth, guys. When you see your girlfriends excelling, you are like, you jump up and down with joy, and you like
absolutely
celebrate them. Like you truly celebrate them. I feel
Yes.
that every single thing that I've done since we've been friends, you know, you just, even when I say that, you know, oh yeah, you know, I did this now, Karen, you're like, no, we're stopping. We're going to smell that rose and we are celebrating that.
Yeah, no, we have to celebrate, you know, it's, we have to celebrate our athletes together as a community, because this is how we're going to become stronger. We're going to remember those moments, as you are mentioning, your moments that you needed to celebrate. We celebrated them. You know, these are the memories.
Because I don't do that. I mean, you know this about me. I mean, a lot of people don't know this about me, is that I just keep doing, because I'm such an A type that I don't take that moment to halt and say, hang on a minute, did I just do that? Did I just accomplish that?
Even for you, you also advocate your friends. You know, you advocated me to do many things. Like, for example, just as of recent, I did the 7-day beauty and wellness challenge online. Now, would have I done that without you? No, because I just needed someone to be like, hey, listen, you know what? You have great presence on camera, which is a huge compliment coming from you, and just put your content together and make it happen. And it was a really fun week.
And it's not enough. Kavita, you have so much knowledge, so much vast knowledge that 1 week isn't enough. And I know that you're being bombarded. I see your Insta stories, people, you know, asking you what they want to know next, what your next theme needs to be. So similar to me, right? You're trying to take a break, but you can't, because there's just too much out there for you to do right now. So let's talk a little bit about that. I want to kind of bring people into some of the things that you actually do in this space. So prayer and meditation is one pillar. Yoga and exercise is another pillar. And then food and nutrition is another. That's a lot of stuff for us to talk about, but I feel like
I'm a whole lot of woman.
You're a whole lot of woman, girlfriend. You had J-Lo butt before J-Lo existed, darling. The gorgeous woman that you are. So let's talk about that. There's three segments there: prayer and meditation. I want to say it again: yoga and exercise, food and nutrition. Let's start with prayer and meditation. If someone was starting this for the first time and they wanted to incorporate it in their lives, people like you and I, we're constantly busy, but we are always able to make room for this. What could you potentially say to them that if they wanted to introduce this into their lives, but they're not kind of really that familiar with it, and they wanted it to be effortless, so it's not like, oh my God, I have to sit here and do this. What would you suggest that they should do in order to be able to incorporate it into their daily ritual, like you have, like I have?
So, I mean, it can get caught. A complex way is to you know, dedicate yourself to go to. It's not really complex, but more of a systematic way is to go to temples or your church, right? So to build that that spiritual community could be done through church. It could be done through online programs. Gabby Bernstein is one of my favorites. Danielle Laporte is one of my favorites. So if you want to follow them now, they are offering a lot of online programs which keep you, something I feel in anything that you do will keep you accountable, right? So if it's going to keep you accountable to get up every morning at 6 o'clock. I was actually listening to Jay Shetty while I was taking a shower. And he talked about his journey, and it was talking about exactly that accountability of having a partner. Now, if we can't have a partner right now, having the accountability to be online and connect. So, you know, if it is that meditation starts at 6, you get up at 5:15 to get yourself up to be ready for that 6 o'clock meditation. And that's how you build your practice. You have to do that for at least 30 days for it to instill into your entire system.
Right. It's interesting you're saying that, because I was listening to Jadiv on one of his sessions, and he said that there's this thing about how energy is different throughout the day. And he was saying, you know, because somebody asked him, like,
Yes.
why do people meditate or pray in the morning, right? Why is
Right.
that a thing? And he said it so beautifully. He says that if you actually test it and you get up, like, say, 4 or 5 in the morning,
right,
and you sit there and you pray or you meditate, and then you do the same thing maybe around 10, 11 o'clock, then you try it again later on in the afternoon, you yourself will feel that the energy of your prayer is different.
right.
And there's just something about the energy of the morning prayer that is
Which
at
you
its
do.
most purest,
Yeah,
which I do.
You do. Yours is around, you said 4:35, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
My body just wakes up.
Yeah.
And demands me to get up and just have that moment with the universe and with God, you know? Absolutely. So that's the prayer and meditation piece. So let's talk a little bit about yoga and exercise. You mentioned just a little bit earlier that you do it literally you do yoga every day.
Every day.
And exercise, you basically encapsulate it to about 3 times a day. It's 3 times a week. Is this, I mean, is this something that you recommend that people do? Like, what are your thoughts around this? I know it's what you do, but what about people that aren't really into it? Yeah.
I feel even with exercise, it's a happy fit for me. Again, it's not because I don't own a scale. I don't want to own a scale. My thing is, if I look good and I feel good, then we're doing good. The reason why I exercise is 2 things. One is because it helps me release a lot of like stress or aggression, because I'm very, again, like you, I'm very type A. If I'm not working out, I feel like, you know, out of sorts. So workout helps me with my mental stability, and physically it helps me feel strong, because I want to be able to be like J-Lo at 50 and like jump on poles, you know, do all that good on my yacht.
Absolutely.
Who doesn't want to do that?
Absolutely. I love it. So let's talk then about food and nutrition, because you are a huge advocate for, you know, the body is the temple. So let's talk a little bit about this.
100%. Hi, Pooja. Hey, she said, when was the last time I saw you? I think if it was almost 10, 12 years ago. So, you know, I mean, I started my sort of anti-aging or food wellness regime when I was 27. So take that now, it's almost 15 years, let's just say, right? And with that being said, it's the knowledge of, for women especially, the type of body fat you should be carrying. Now, you should never be at a low index, because it's not healthy for women. So there should be good fats that you should be knowledgeable about, such as walnuts and avocados, flaxseed oil. All of this knowledge is so available online, is to just kind of educate yourself as what kind of good fats are good for general human bodies. Intake them every single day. Your vitamin intake is really, really important. The type of quality of vitamins that you are taking. Why are you taking them? It's a whole discussion that I can get into on a different
Can I stop you? Can I stop you a second? Because I selfishly need to ask you a question. So you always kick my ass about the vitamins thing. So you're always like, oh, that's crap, Rod. You can't buy that. It's got chemicals in it. What do we need to know about vitamins? Like, how do we know how to buy them? There's like a ton of brands out there.
Exactly. So, hi, V. Sorry, I know I'm interrupting, but some of our girls are showing up here. We have to say hi.
I see V Mystery. Hi, darling.
So vitamins and water is a huge component of your skin. Forget about skincare right now. So vitamins is a huge component. Even when clients come into my clinic and we start talking about, for example, if someone has acne problems, the first question I ask them is, are you taking zinc? Are you taking omegas? No. Are you taking a multivitamin? No. So we need to start there. And how do you choose that? Is now, again, we're so lucky to be in this kind of sort of world where we have high quality vitamins. And what I mean by that, Raj, is vegetable-based vitamins, vitamins that don't have dye or color in them or fillers in them. So you want the pure extract of that vitamin. So my multivitamin and my iron pill are vegetable based.
Okay.
And they look
that's a big one.
Yeah, and it looks like rabbit food. I take evening Primrose Oil, which is, it's a higher degree of the evening Primrose Oil. And this is the big secret for skin, is evening Primrose Oil intake.
What is that? What is that? Sorry, say it again.
Evening Primrose Oil. So it's a seed that's activated in oil, and they've put it in capsules, and it just builds such good health for your women's uterus and also your skin.
Okay.
To help you regulate and stuff. And also even being regular, like you're being regular on your cycle is so important. Like if you're getting your cycle every 14 days, there's a problem, you know? So you need to, you need to look at, am I having enough iron intake? Am I having my spinach? Am I having, what kind of protein shakes are you having? Don't have whey protein, have plant-based protein. So
why? Tell me why, because that's another thing you've kicked my ass for.
Yeah, so women, when we get older, we need protein. So it's not like we need protein and we need to intake beef or we need to intake pork.
Can I stop you a second?
Yeah.
So you're being asked, can you repeat it, please? Evening Primrose Oil, is that what it is?
Yes, that's what it is. Evening Primrose Oil. There's a pills that you can get. Where I shop for my vitamins is from Noah's. It's any Noah's. You can even shop online. A really good vitamin evening Primrose Oil is called Beautiful Skin.
Okay.
Yeah, so good.
Perfect. So carry on. Sorry, I had to stop you because I wanted to make sure that people who are asking questions, that they get the wealth of knowledge from you that I get just by a phone call.
Yeah. So protein, even protein,
yes.
The protein shakes, plant-based proteins digest better in the system than a whey protein would.
Right. Okay? So it's a digestion thing.
Right. But even whey protein causes horrible gas. And it causes inflammation in your muscles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So not a fan.
Did you hear that, Karen? So we have to throw out all of our whey proteins now, honey.
You have whey proteins?
I do have them in my kitchen, sweetie.
And you also have to be careful in your whey proteins, the sugar in there. Because sugar is a secret. It's actually not a secret, but it's the enemy of weight gain. That's how a lot of people weight gain. Like I get my almond milk that's I'm sweetened and sugar free. Never try to avoid having sugar in the morning, especially too, because that's when your body's absorbing all your nutrients, and you want to have good fats.
Yeah.
In the morning, and then maybe have your sugar around 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And then kind of pace it out. Anyway, I can keep going on about this stuff.
No, I can keep listening forever. So let me ask you, let me take us in a different direction. Obviously we are sitting in a time when we can't come visit you, unfortunately. We cannot go to spas. We cannot get, the services that we're not trained to be able to, do ourselves. So I wanted to kind of touch base on some of that. Obviously, taking care of your skin, like I have here, grays are coming in, hair removal. Can we talk about some of the things like home remedies or something that we could do at home to kind of keep us going until we're able to come back to the spa?
So I'm going to cover, let's do hair.
Yeah.
And let's do skin. Okay. So, a great thing is
so we're not going to talk about the hair removal in certain places where the sun don't shine? Because I usually go get that done, girlfriend.
You can't, but you can't.
I know. Amazon jungle right now, sweetie pea.
Keep it real.
Well, just going to have to be the way it is. Sorry if there's any guys out there, do apologize. But you know what we're talking about too, so don't pretend you don't.
So hair. So two things. Right now, what I'm doing is I am doing hair treatments. So I can't get my hair cut and I can't get my hair colored. Okay.
Right.
So I'm not going to go, first of all, I'm not going to even go to get box dye. I'm not going to ruin the quality of my hair right now.
Yeah.
So what I'm doing is yesterday I did a hair treatment, which I washed out and then blow dried my hair, where I do avocado oil and some lavender. So the avocado oil has omega in it, which feeds the hair cuticle.
Okay.
So each oil provides a different benefit to your hair. So I like that avocado oil feel on my hair because it feeds like the omega in my hair. And then
so this is just like from the grocery store, right? Like
yeah, you could just mix it and then apply it in your hair after you take your shower, towel dry, apply it in your hair and let it like free down, right?
Okay.
Like let it air dry rather. Okay.
Okay. So then, no hair drying.
No.
Okay.
So then you want to wait like 2 days if you can.
Yeah.
And then wash your hair. And if you want, I blow dry my hair because it makes me feel pretty.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And then the next thing is, say for example, we're doing Zoom interviews, video chats with your loved ones, and you want them to always think you're like hot on point. I unfortunately, again, I'm not going to get box dye, but what you can do is I'm actually going to do a video on this. Is you can take
when are you doing this? Let's let people know. When are you planning?
Maybe today.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. And where can we catch it? Which one of your?
I'm gonna do IG Live. That was my first. Okay. I did an IG Live yesterday. It's my first one. I thought it was pretty dope.
Oh my god! So which of your handles?
At Kavita Suri Beauty Inc.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. So, how to cover your grays while you're getting on Zoom calls and IG Live. So you're gonna take an eyeshadow.
Yeah.
And an eyeshadow brush. It's a little bit stiff. I should have brought. I didn't even know we're going to talk about it, but it's a bit stiffer in the hair cut.
Yeah.
Of the brush, and you're going to take an eyeshadow that's similar to your hair color. So I don't really do black. I usually do like a dark brown.
Right.
And I go and I like kind of like go in and I kind of like lightly, as if I'm painting my grays. And then what I do is I take hairspray about 2 to 3 inches away and I kind of spray it, let it set, and we're ready to go.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, you could do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I have some grays here.
I'm ready to do that.
But
as well.
that's, I mean,
what about us girls? Like, what about us girls and guys out there who, like me, are at a certain age, or even, it's not even age defined, but my entire head, if I didn't dye my roots, is completely white. Like, how am I handling that? I'm just gonna have to deal with it, right?
One, you can either deal with it. Two, you can, if you have a great relationship with your hairstylist, you can be like, I need at least a 3-week supply of my touch-ups.
Okay.
Like, hook it up. And if they can't do it, you need to source it out. Just like, where can I get this type of product solution online? Right. I'm sure you can.
Right. You just got to be resourceful, basically, is what you're saying.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about the skin.
Skin. So what you could do with skin is 2 things. So we could do a brown sugar scrub. So you could take 1 tablespoon of brown sugar.
Yeah.
You can put a little bit of olive oil, so like half a tablespoon, and mix it. Well, if you want, you could add lavender oil or any kind of scent that you like, and mix it and use that as a scrub. Okay. So the brown sugar.
What does that do?
Granulate of the brown sugar helps exfoliate your dead skin cells.
Okay.
The olive oil moisturizes your skin while it's being exfoliated.
Got it. I love it. Okay, that's great. So I can do that all over my body then as well, right?
Yeah, you could do it on your body. It's a popular lip scrub as well.
Okay.
Because again, as you're removing it with the brown sugar, the oil is moisturizing. So even when you remove it, it's not dry from the scrub, it's still moisturized.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's wonderful. So let me ask you this. I know that now that we're all on kind of lockdown, there's a lot of people that are doing, for want of a better word, like coaching, teaching online for people. I know that you're, providing online consulting in certain aspects.
Yeah.
Can we talk a little bit about what you're offering and how people can, tap into what you're offering?
So I am offering virtual skincare consultations. So skincare or beauty consultations. So a lot of women right now, or a lot of individuals are probably looking at themselves like, you know what, the one thing I want to change is how I take care of my skin. Right. Or I've always wondered about laser hair removal. This is a great time. Like, I've had so many of my clients message me and thank me. They're like, thank God for laser hair removal because I have no hair right now.
Yes.
So, for me, it's more like this is the time to get the knowledge from me. If you can't come to the clinic, like let's set up a Zoom call, let's set up a WhatsApp call, and let's have this dialogue. Absolutely.
So how do people get a hold of you in order to set that up?
So you can email kavita.suri@infusemedspa.com or just DM me.
Okay, brilliant.
Yeah.
You guys got that, right? So this is wonderful. Great opportunity even to educate yourself on your own
vitamins, skin, beauty.
Absolutely. So you offer all of that then basically.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, great. Wow, that's amazing. You know, there's somebody here that's asking a question about pigmentation in lips. You want to handle that question?
Lips is you can contact, there's permanent makeup artists that place pigment in your lip that, you know, like a lighter pigment that can help enhance the color of your lip. But naturally it's a tricky one to kind of target and remove. It's something I've also been interested in, is maybe perhaps someone needs to create a lip, you know how they have those lip moisture like gel pads?
Yes. Yeah.
Someone needs to create something like that with vitamin C in it.
So Kavita Suri, you're home. I think you need to create that.
Oh.
No, actually talking about creations, like there's that amazing product of yours that you launched to get rid of dark patches underneath the arms. Can we talk a little bit about that? That's a huge problem with us, you know, darker girls.
So I created an underarm treatment bar, which again, it was something that I created because my customers kept asking me, do you have anything that's going to help with my pigmentation under my arms?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm so insecure about it. And especially women of color, we're going to get the pigment. So I created a bar. It's 100% natural and it 100% works. So it's something that you do at night. And then I created a bikini bar. So it's the same formula, but it's in a different packaging where they can use it on your bikini area, inner thighs. So I'm actually rebranding it. I was going to rebrand it during this time, but this has happened. So it's kind of, you know, I've set back on where my budgets are right now for the business, but it's something I want to,
as we all have.
Yeah.
We've all had to, right?
Yeah, and I'm okay with that. It'll come when it needs to.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So if anybody wants to get these products for the underarms or for the bikini area, do you have any? And if you do, is there a way for people to get hold of it right now?
So I'm sold out of the product. Yeah. So it's sold out. And then that's when I had this individual from a well-known beauty company wanted to sit down with me and talk about rebranding and pushing it on different markets.
Yeah.
That was supposed to happen, but then this happened. So
it is what it is. So how are you? So how are you, an A-type woman that you are, constantly busy, actually dealing with this time of standing still almost? Like how are you getting through it? Because
I love it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, talk to me about this.
I love this rest. I'm like, I'm going to be off. We're probably not going to reopen till June 1st or whatever time God wants it to be. Yeah. But this is the time, like I'm always on the go. Like this is a time where it's like, I don't have any social obligations. I don't have work obligations. Right now I'm kind of creating like different things that are in my mind, which I'm going to launch. But really, this is nice. This is really nice.
So how are you feeling around the fact that, because you are very much the kind of person that needs balance in your life, balance, not just alone time, but time with, your circle of friends, your circle of associates, your clients, to you have relationships with these people.
I know, I really miss them.
Right. So how, and then of course with your family, with all this social distancing, how are you dealing with all of that? Because there's a lot of different layers of people that are important to you in your life. And as they are in all of our lives, how are you dealing with that?
I'm just, I'm getting on calls.
Yeah.
I'm picking up the phone. I'm calling my girlfriends. We do video chats. And and that's pretty much it. We did a big Zoom thing with my family.
Of course.
I did go see my parents when at the right time, it was the right time, because you need to do that. You need to space it out. Like, don't take this time to be like, you need to be out every single day and meet someone. If it's that you've met someone, give it another 5 days you don't meet someone, or 6 days, right?
Right.
And it's not that I'm saying be social. It's just the reality is that you have family that you need to connect with and you need to see.
Yeah.
And you just have to be smart about it.
Absolutely.
But I'm okay. You know what it is, Raj? I'm really happy. Like, I'm really happy inside. I feel fulfilled. I feel protected, and I feel so loved. And I think that's why I feel okay about this whole social, like, being apart and not being too social.
Yeah.
All the time,
Yeah, it's a good thing because, from my perspective, Kavita, I've been learning a lot more about myself. How we kind of put things off because we're so busy living life, and what's that next hustle? What's that next launch? Because me, I'm like a multiple launch personality.
Yeah,
That's
you
what
are.
I do.
Yeah.
So what I'm noticing now with that extra time that I have is that I'm learning some really interesting insights about myself, and realizing that I'm a pretty awesome person.
Right?
You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't do this enough for ourselves. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah. So there's a question here for you. Any advice for single people who want to be empowered? Ooh, that's a big one.
I don't know. I think that it doesn't mean, I think that you can be empowered in a relationship or single. I think it's a self decision. I think it's, again, taking up a course or being part of a community or being part of a board of directors. You find empowerment through other people to kind of balance it back to yourself.
Absolutely. So it's finding what makes you feel good about yourself, basically. And that could be different for anybody.
Single or in a relationship.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Kavita, it's been such a pleasure talking to you.
I feel like we can go on for another hour.
Oh God, girl, you and I can go on for days.
Yeah, we've done that where we meet for dinner and we're there for 4 or 5 hours. We're like, damn.
Which is wonderful. But
thank you for having me. Yes.
Oh, sweetheart. Thank you so much for your words of wisdom. There's just so much more that we can talk about. And I feel that we need to do another one of these, in a bit, and hone in on something else that you can kind of impart your wisdom on. And guys, the great thing about Kavita, which I love, other than the fact that she's educated and she's also been in the field for a long time, she also self-educates. And I think that this is a good time for us to kind of look into that. She's a huge advocate for, constantly consuming content and then figuring out what part of that content actually resonates with her spirit and with her lifestyle. So, I mean, that's my final words on you, sweetheart. But I'd like you to maybe give us some final words on, how you feel that those of us who aren't like you and I, that can constantly find ways to kind of adjust ourselves depending on the circumstances we're living in. Any advice that you have for people who are having like a really hard time with this, this moment of stillness that we have right now in the world?
So, I mean, I was having a hard time this morning. I'm not going to lie. I was getting, my hard time was more like I'm a little agitated. I'm like, I just want to be with my clients. I just want to walk into my clinic. It's going to happen. Honor it, but don't let it be your everyday. Honor that you're a little bit on the edge today, which I know I am. But the reality is I have a lot going for myself.
Yeah. And so basically,
honor it.
So your final message basically is if you're having the moment, just have the moment. Don't let it be a habit, and find things that make you feel good about yourself in your current situation, right?
Exactly.
Oh my God. Amen to that. I love you so much. Can't wait till I
can
give you a big fat hug.
I know. I can't wait.
Absolutely. And Facebook family, Instagram family, thank you so much for being here for, these past 60 minutes. I can't believe that time has gone by so much. I'm getting kind of the wave over there from my son who is telling me that we have to close up.
Thank you so much. I have to say that when, I know we have to close up, but some real talk here. When I got the email about how to set this up, I was just like, I have to do what? Like my headphones and like Zoom on the computer and this. I was like, I don't, okay. And I
Yeah.
think I did pretty good.
You did awesome, sweetheart. Actually, you out of all the sessions, this one was the most smoothest in terms of us getting our tech together. I have to tell you.
No way!
Absolutely. So Kavita, Karam is saying, thank you so much for helping her, navigate through this entire, tech stuff that you sent her this morning via
Thanks,
email.
Amelia.
So he's just saying that she's saying that she loves you and thank you so much. And he's giving you thumbs up. And he's saying that we got to log out. Thank you so much.
I want my vanilla cupcakes.
She says she wants vanilla cupcakes. He's laughing. That's a private joke right there. Thank you so much, guys.
Bye. Bye.